howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, a senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. And if you are a bigot, that is a terrible character flaw. Well, thumbs up, and it is indeed a brand new day. 11:58 as I speak. I have been over to the community center just to let them know I'm alive and to start my new chores, which I'm not exactly light duty, but they try to keep my stuff because of my nerve compression as light duty as possible. And I have to Febreze the furniture and stuff, give it a wipe and such. But when I went in there, they couldn't find the Febreze. So I'm going to go back in later and check with them, see if they found it, so I can go do that. So thumbs up. Plus, I need to wash my towels. I went to take a shower today, and I had one towel. Now, I used two. One to throw down as a bath mat, and one to dry off my body. And then I put them in to be dried, in to be washed. I had one towel. I do have one towel that I keep on my bed as a blanket at night. And it's almost too warm right now for that towel. I'm going to be changing it to a lighter towel so that I don't burn up. I get over warm, my legs are going to cramp. But I took the towel that I had, put it down as a bath mat. I do have two bath mats down, but I want my feet to stay clean. And because the bath mats, I have to put things. I have to move things periodically. There's limited space, so things have gone on top of the bath mat. Plural. I've had to walk on them with my feet. They're not clean. So I put a towel over that, step on the towel, dry myself off on the towel. So even though it's been over there and I've been using it as a towel for some time, blanket for some time, that's all I've been doing. So it was fine to step on. I am semi-obsessive about some things, and you can be obsessive to a degree, and it's not a bad thing. It's when you take it into a compulsive stage. Then you're in trouble. It's not the end of the world, of course. You can nip things in the bud. I keep periodically having that, did I really shut the door? After I've leaned into the door and shut it and made sure it locked by leaning and putting my weight on it, walk away, get 6 feet, and then have to go back and check. That does happen. So I'm able to fight that stuff away because you don't want to get compulsive. Being obsessive, because I hyperfixate anyway, is okay as long as you don't keep it in on the probability curve. Keep it in that middle part, not on the two extremes. That's about the best way to put it. Oh, and this. Oh, my arm is sore, and it's heavy, and my fingers here especially hurt. But it doesn't hurt as much as it has. It's not as heavy. It's not as difficult to use. And the actual nerve itself, well, last night, the end of the day, it's hell. My entire arm, from my fingers to down below my shoulder blade, everything was just aching. Difficult to sit in the chair. I keep a block of foam that I put as a big cushion. It's like this much foam between me and the back of the chair. And that much foam, even right now, if I put the pressure on there wrong, it hurts. So end of the day, it is awful. But for right now, it doesn't hurt that much. And as stated, the nerve itself, aside from the difficulties from sitting, has not really been screaming. So right now I'm dealing with this that needs to settle down because that hurt, and everything is cramped up here. That hurts too, boy, just cramped up. So I can't wait for it all to finish settling down. I had to deal with this part of my arm feeling like a block of wood because the muscles were so cramped up for years. If I bumped into anything, it was agony because it was so cramped. It went from my fingers, from just a big chunk. All of this hurt. So, yay. I can't wait for that to stop doing that. So, yeah, this hurts, and then everything hurts up in here. But it's the after effects. It's hurting less. Like I said, it's heavy, but it's less heavy than it was. So that's good. Yay. And I still have to use it, though not as much as I would, because that moving around right now is not fun. Or you're going to lose it. And I mentioned yesterday how much I'd lost before. I don't want to lose more again. Especially this, my scoliosis side. Everything's a mess in here anyway, with everything all pulled forward and things underdeveloped from my skeletal structure to I got arteries that are barely there. Oh boy, I'm going to be thrilled when one of those gets blocked, aren't I? Anyway, though, because of all this hurts anyway. Add everything else on top of it. I mean, of course, everything is all on the same spot in the same area. Of course. That's the way life is. So, of course, this side hurts anyway. So, of course, that's the side where the nerve gets severed. Of course. What else do I have up here? Oh, yes. I ran out of Tylenol yesterday. And apparently, Tylenol really helps a lot more than I thought. Because, oh my gosh. In layperson's terms, your hips are what's on the outside of your body. When you press up against something, bunk up against that, that's your hip. In medical terms, your hip is way on the inside, where the joints are on your pelvis, deep up inside of your abdomen, tight in there, and on the inside. So that's where hip pain is. If it hurts out here, that's just skeletal muscles. My lateral, which is just the medial and median, well, not median. Medial is towards the middle of your body. Lateral is towards the outside of your body. My lateral left and right skeletal muscles ache so much today because no Tylenol. I've taken aspirin. I had the meloxicam, which is an ibuprofen replacement. I took that last night. It's only been 12 hours, and it's a 24-hour med. But oh my gosh, do those lateral hip muscles hurt. Part of it, I imagine, could be my body still trying to get used to the weight of boots, but I've been wearing boots for some time. The only thing I've changed was the size of the boots. Now, there has been some change in the way I've had to walk, so maybe that's it, because the sole is larger, so where it bends, when my heel hits, it claps down more instead of rolls into a walk. That might be part of it. In which case, I sure wish my muscles would hurry up and get used to it. Especially this side. I've been mentioning before how when I limped because of my heel bone spurs before, I had gotten, oh my God, ADHD brain. It pulled it right from my head. I know I was talking about something, but I can't remember what in with the whole Tylenol and muscle stuff. I hate ADHD brain. I wish I could take Ritalin again. I could think. I could remember things. I didn't have stuff pulled out of my head. I didn't forget what I was talking about as I was talking about it. But I'm on blood pressure meds now because of Ritalin. So I can't take it. So whatever my story was, let's assume it was a good one, and I will continue up here. I did play a lot of Fate the Traitor Soul last night, but I want to thank first everybody that answered Polo to my yell of Marco last night yesterday, during my blatant engagement farming when I asked people to mention Ambiwave, I believe it was, to let the YouTube algorithm know that people watch the videos. And we have Jesse Koskinen who did so. Thumbs up, thank you. And I am jealous with the amount of sleep that you are able to get. There is RJ Mitchell, thumbs up and thank you. I am glad to be of inspiration on any creative endeavor. We have Fluffy Big Butt, thumbs up and thank you. Greatly appreciated. Now, I went and pronounced this name in the way that my cosmic horror alphabet is pronounced, and now I can't see any other way to pronounce it except for the first part. This part, because of the C, that part cannot pronounce cosmic horror wise. But when I see that part, I see Chica, but then the rest of it is Treatsna, because the I is pronounced, lowercase I is pronounced is an E, and a lowercase O is pronounced with an So Chica Treatsna. I have no ideas anymore how that would be actually pronounced. Chica Treatsna 19. Thank you so much for playing my silly little engagement game. Jason Cunningham 4315, thumbs up, thank you. I wish I could be on Facebook more, but this hurts so much to type that I don't type as much as I used to. So as this settles down, I'll be online more. And Larry from Space 1856, thumbs up and thank you, greatly appreciated. Thank you, each and every one of you. You are beautiful and awesome people. Thumbs up for that. Now, let's see what else I have up here. Oh, yes, Fate the Traitor Soul. Yesterday, I did play a lot of Fate the Traitor Soul. Now, I said before I can't take Ritalin, and I can't. I take 2 meds that have off-label uses for ADHD. One is a Wellbutrin, an antidepressant, and the other one is guanfacine, a mild blood pressure med. One of them helps dampen the physical side effects, the leg bouncing, the need to get up and walk around, and the other one deals with some of the mental effects. It's a very small effect they have on me, but while it is tiny, it is there. Trying to remember now. God, my ADHD brain is terrible today. Ah, yes, here we go. But I am still massively time blind, where it feels like blink, 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 and the day is gone. Literally like that. Hours pass like minutes. Is that right? Yeah. In full, it's years pass like months, months pass like weeks, weeks pass like days, days pass like hours, hours pass like minutes. My life has been just on fast forward because of ADHD my whole life. Since I've had to quit Ritalin, my time blindness came back, because it was weird being on Ritalin, where a second took a second to pass. An hour took an hour. It wasn't blink, blink, and 3 hours went by. It was blink, and that only took a second. But there are still times, like yesterday when I was playing Fate the Traitor Soul, time ran at normal speed. It felt like I was playing the game forever. And little time was passing. So I still get bouts where I'm not timelined. And that's a good thing. Thumbs up for that. Yay! But I'm going to quickly mention yesterday, again, last night before I went to bed, I took another 24 milligrams of melatonin, 11:15. 1:45, I went to bed. Not melatonin tired, but, tired because I'd been up for a very long time. So I went to bed anyway and just had to daydream. But I wanted to mention and talk about cryptids again. I want to talk about my cryptid setting. Because I've talked about this, of course, I've talked about 98% of this before. I'm just trying to remember it myself, keep it fresh, come up with new angles for information, and to tell people that haven't heard or remind people that have about things about the setting, because I've been working on it for years. I'd be amazed if anybody remembered anything at all, because where's the incentive? But I've mentioned before that 98%, a vast bulk of the percentage of cryptids, live little better than their ancestors, which is little better than animals, for the past 300,000 years. Even today, I talk about the cryptids that deal with people the most. And in many cases, like Lynn Tanner and Cornetto, they can be amongst humans and you wouldn't even know that they're a cryptid. But most cryptids aren't like that. They just live basically in the wild. They don't do anything except whatever interests them at the moment. They just eat whatever is available when they're hungry. They drink whatever is available when they're thirsty. When it's time to sleep, they just sleep wherever they want to, wherever they happen to be. In our world, there is next to nothing that can harm them. Unless it's cryptid-made stuff, normal stuff can't really hurt or affect them. If you wanted to remove a cryptid's arm, like cut it off right through here, you would have to physically make sure that it was severed all the way through and kept apart. Because if you go through with a sword that's only this wide and it comes through this direction, it's going to cut through and seal it behind it as it goes until whop, there's a spray of blood, but they're like, oh, you're in for it now. But cryptid material stuff, of course, you got a sword like that, you're just going to take their hand off. Temperature-wise, they can go out and sleep in snow at -20 and wake up and be fine. They can go and live in temperatures of 120 plus up to about 125 with no real protection and be okay. And since most things in our world can't even perceive them, there's nothing to worry about. And in the cryptid world, most things prey upon others of their same species. Cryptid things like cryptid people prey primarily on other cryptid people. And the wild, because there are cryptid animals and cryptid plants and such, and there are many that only eat those. Act within your nature, of course. But since in this cryptid setting as well, there are light cryptids and dark cryptids, and then there are human beings with their third eye open. Dark cryptids, some of them have a genetic flaw where they are required to devour human flesh to make up for the fact that they cannot absorb the ambient cryptid matrix energy. So they have to eat people periodically. And then there are the 13th kind of cryptid where they can't absorb any of that energy at all. They have to eat people quite frequently or they will starve to death. Light cryptids, on the other hand, have no requirement to do so. But there is a cryptid who is in her very early 20s who was amongst the first of the current population of light cryptids, where it's a fairly substantial number where they've just become hungry. When I say substantial number, I mean it's like only 1 or 2% of light cryptids where they're hungry and they want to eat human beings too. Act within your nature, they discover they can. And so they do so. There is no physical dietary requirement to do so. But since cryptids are a reflection, a broken and warped reflection of human beings, a reflection of our hopes, our nightmares, our dreams, our fears, our best, our worst, they have no real hopes of becoming who they want to be when who they are is formed by everything that I just mentioned and more. Every generation is formed not from the genetics, which is a part of it, not all of it, but part of it, but most of it is because of what is washing through the psyche of humanity at the time. What we're afraid of, what we love, what we're interested in, what we don't want. So it's like 2% of the light population that is hungry right now. Polly, whom I mentioned, is that young 20-something cryptid. Her mother is Clausy. She's eaten 14 people in the last 20 years, her and her life partner, Alan. Their parents, they ate about 2 people, once in the beginning of their lives and then once towards the end. You know, interested in the beginning and curious, and then toward the end, just to have that taste again before you die. And their parents, they only ate 1 person. And the population before that, well, if you did eat someone, it was purely for survival. You had nothing else available except Scott over there. Sorry, Scott. But otherwise, it just did not happen. It stabilizes now and is going to drop down, but it will never become 0 again. There will always be a percentage of light cryptids that are hungry. So thumbs up on that. And hey, call to action time. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that'd be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up, proving you are indeed a beautiful and awesome person. And if you're a Patreon patron, you too are in fact beautiful and awesome. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise, because when you look in the mirror, that is someone who is beautiful and awesome physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I would like to thank somebody who anonymously donated to me through PayPal. It was an amount of money, and I do appreciate that very, very much. Thumbs up. Yay! And if you left me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome in your own way. Definitely a thumbs up. So yes, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to be using my arm, just definitely not as much as I usually do. I mean, just lifting it up like this. Heavy, hurts, especially right here, where I severed my radial nerve before. But use it or lose it, so. And hopefully, you are going to get done the things that you would like to get done today. And if not, please do not beat yourself up for it. It does not help you get it done better next time, and you do deserve better. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. Thumbs up for that. Yay! So, Now I click on this so that I can click on the stop recording button. You take care.